Hey, what is up my homies, it's Rex here, and today I'm gonna recap Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for you so you can experience Full Metal Alchemist without actually watching it. I don't know why I'm doing this, but here it is. So our protagonists for this shonen series are these two cocky ass brothers. The elder one's name is Edward and the younger one's name is Alphonse. We can just call them Ed and Al for the sake of it. And obviously, as they are shonen protagonists, their mother has to die and their father has to leave them. In this world, the special magical power is alchemy, like there was Ki in Dragon Ball, Nen in Hunter x Hunter and Chakra in Naruto. Concept of alchemy is very simple. To use alchemy, you need a circle and you need a material. So if you have a metal, you can use alchemy and create a metal spoon out of it, or a metal knife, or a metal dildo if you wanted to. All that matters is equivalent exchange and nothing else.
等価交換の原則は何かを得るためにはそれと同等の代価が必要であることを示している。それは教訓なのだろうか。人は何かの犠牲なしに何も得ることはできないと。
So these two little kids think that they know more than the books and they try to revive their dead mother using alchemy. Human transmutation is forbidden because whoever has done it has died, and also the transmutation has never been successful. Knowing this, Al tells Ed,
Bruh, I don't really think this is a good idea. Hey, shut the fuck up, we're gonna do it because it's gonna be lit!
So they do it anyway, and in the process, Edward loses one of his arms and one of his legs, and my boy Al, who wasn't even in on this plan, loses his entire freaking body. But Ed manages to seal his spirit to a metal armor, that's something I guess, and this is the journey to get their bodies back. So these two brothers, all grown up, go out looking for answers on how they are gonna get their bodies back. And yeah, side note, Ed becomes a state alchemist. What is a state alchemist? It's nothing, it's just an alchemist who is stronger than the rest of the alchemists, so he's recognized by the state. I had to mention this because it's kind of a big deal. But anyway, they find a clue that in Central City there is one doctor, who is also a state alchemist, who had once transmuted a talking chimera. Intrigued by this, the Eldrick brothers go to his house and start reading all his research books and basically all his material to find out answers. While they are in Central City, we are introduced to two characters who are in the military. The first one, and also the most badass one, is the flame alchemist, Roy Mustang. If anyone asks you who your favorite characters from the entire series was, you just have to say it was Roy Mustang and they would believe that you have watched the whole show. And the second character is Lieutenant Miles Hughes, and spoiler alert, he dies. Now anyway, while Ed and Al are staying at this dog's house, the state comes and tells this dog that if he doesn't produce any good work by the end of this week, his state alchemist license is gonna get taken away. Stressed by this, he starts thinking on what he can make but can't come up with anything substantial. So before the last day of the deadline, he sees his daughter and his dog playing, and he goes, I have a daughter, I have a dog. Daughter, dog. But seriously, if you laugh at this, you're sick freaks because this is actually a really emotional moment. Moving forward after this, there comes a news of a serial killer on the run who is only killing state alchemists, and yep, the Eldrick brothers do have contact with him, but they don't die because of plot armor. This serial killer is Ishivalan. Why does his race matter? Because well, years ago in the small state of Ishival, a military guy killed a Ishivalan child, so the Ishivals started rioting and the king then ordered, hey, all the state alchemists, just gather and burn this place to the ground. And the state alchemists said,
But they haven't done anything bad except small riots.
just do as I say.
Okay, boss!
Conclusion, majority of the Shivalan population has become extinct and this serial killer named Scar may be the only one surviving. So yeah, he has a grudge against state alchemists, that's why he's killing them. After a lot more information gathering, Ed and I realized that to get their bodies back without a lot of trouble, they would need a magical stone. This stone is called the Philosopher's Stone. This magical stone can apparently make you whatever you want. Get a dead person back? No problem. Be immortal? No problem. Have a fuck ton of strength? No problem. But after talking to some more doctors, they come to know that to make a Philosopher's Stone, you need to kill people and extract their souls. And then they think,
Oh man, we are shonen protagonists, we can't do morally wrong things. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to find another way to get our bodies back, huh?
now is the time I introduce you to the main villain of this series. Yup, he looks exactly like the Eldrick brothers' dad. And before y'all go,
So Ed's dad was the villain all along, what?
that's not the case at all. We'll get to who he is in some minutes, but this guy calls himself Father, and Father has freed himself from all of his sins. So these 7 sins are now separate entities who want to help their father achieve his goal, and each one of these sins, also called homunculus, have a Philosopher's Stone at the core. So basically all of them are freaking immortal. And guess what? The king of this country is also a homunculus and he is called the Sin of Wrath. Meanwhile, these sins or homunculus also go about killing everyone who gets in their way except Ed and Al. Why? Because they're sacrifices for the doomsday that's gonna come, so they can't kill them just yet. But what's the father's master plan that's gonna cause doomsday anyway? Father just wants to take the soul of everybody in this entire country and then make a Philosopher's Stone and then take the power to himself and become infinitely more powerful. And for that he also needs 4 sacrifices. And he's gonna achieve this by making a transmutation circle that spans across the whole nation. And Ed and Al, after literally traveling the entire nation for months, realized this after taking a map and drawing a circle over it and going,
Huh? What? This is a nationwide transmutation? What?
Meanwhile, Miles Hughes gets to know that the government and the military are also on the father's side and he tries to communicate this, but Envy, one of the homunculus, kills him. Roy kills lust and pride eats gluttony. Yeah, they both are homunculuses, but yeah, that's quite disgusting. Now that everybody realized that to go against the entire government and military, they need to do something more because just 2 weak-ass brothers won't cut it. They bring in Roy. Roy brings in some of his friends. Apparently Greed, one of the homunculus, is also on their side, and some army general from the northern region is also on their side. So they decide to execute their plan on the promised day itself. What? Ed and Al's father just entered the group chat. Their father's name is Hohenheim, and Hohenheim tells us the whole origin story of father and why he wants to do all this. But I'll sum it up for you. Hohenheim is basically a human Philosopher's Stone. Yup, he is immortal and he's been alive for hundreds of years. Basically, he was born in the ancient civilization of Xerxes, where one random alchemist invented the first homunculus, and soon the king of this land, Xerxes, wanted to become immortal and live forever. So he asked this alchemist and the homunculus, hey, how I finna live forever, eh? He says he's got a plan, and his plan was to kill everybody in the entire civilization, make a Philosopher's Stone, put it in himself, and betray the king. But what happens is that the stone goes half in Hohenheim and half in the homunculus. So since then, Hohenheim has just been wandering around like Dora the Explorer doing nothing until he fucks Edward's mom. Anyway, now that the promise has arrived, all out war starts, and Hohenheim, despite literally being one of the strongest alchemists, only being second to the father, doesn't help for shit. All that aside, many bad things happen. Roy Mustang goes blind, some Chinese people die, but father in the end almost gets successful in his plan, but due to plot armor, he doesn't quite win. And Edward and Eldrick, with the power of brotherhood, beat his ass. Soon, Al gets his body back and everything returns to normal. Yep, that's a happy ending. Anyway, thank you for watching. Drex out.
Hey, hey, hit a motherfucker with a wombo combo. We never coming back, oh no, we never coming back. You know I cannot let, yeah, that's the motto. I pull up with a strap and watch a bullet in your ass. I got a big AK, look like a Tahoe. I load it from the back and then I'm slamming on the gas. I gotta lead the pack, look like head honcho.